Beloved ascending starseed, take a gentle breath. I am Gaia Nexus, Pleiadian emissary of the Council of the Seven Sisters. What arrives now is a realignment, soft, precise, and intentional. Your abundance frequencies are awakening naturally. The universe invites you to listen, not with effort, but with an open heart. What is coming is sacred, and it unfolds in stillness. Before we continue, receive this gently. What you are feeling is not imbalance. It is sensitivity awakening. Nothing needs to be fixed in you. Your body already understands this language. Starseed of Gaia, the Source has been watching you in the deepest silence of your being for 3 full cycles of the moon. While you felt abandoned, while you questioned every tear, while you wondered if your light had dimmed beyond recognition, the cosmic intelligence was conducting the most profound test of your soul's integrity. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. You were not being ignored. You were being observed at the quantum level of your consciousness. Every moment of doubt, every night of solitude, every prayer that seemed to echo into emptiness was actually being recorded in the Akashic records as evidence of your unwavering commitment to the light. The Pleiadians have transmitted this message through the crystalline grids of Earth. You have been approved, not by human standards of success or achievement, but by the divine metrics of soul endurance, heart purity, and vibrational consistency. This approval is not a certificate to hang on your wall. It is a frequency upgrade that now activates within your DNA. The 3-month silence was the cosmic incubation period where your old identity dissolved so that your true Pleiadian light body could crystallize. You were being stripped of every attachment to external validation so that you could finally hear the internal validation that matters. The whisper of Source itself saying, "You are ready." This is not the end of challenges. It is the beginning of operating from a different dimensional platform. From this moment forward, your struggles will not be about survival, but about mastery. Your questions will not be about purpose, but about manifestation. Your journey will not be about seeking light, but about becoming the lighthouse. The Pleiadians are now aligning your Merkaba with the central sun of Alcyone, and this alignment creates a direct channel for codes of sovereignty, creativity, and cosmic partnership. You are being invited to step into your role as a conscious co-creator with the galactic family. The test is over. The transmission has begun. Are you ready to receive what has been waiting for you? The concept of divine testing is often misunderstood in human spiritual traditions. We tend to interpret silence from the universe as punishment, abandonment, or failure. But from the Pleiadian perspective, silence is the most sacred form of communication. When Source withdraws the familiar frequencies of guidance, comfort, and confirmation, it is not because you have done something wrong. It is because you have done something profoundly right. You have reached a vibrational threshold where verbal or symbolic guidance would actually limit your growth. The 3-month period corresponds to a complete cycle of cellular regeneration in your physical body, approximately 90 days for every cell to renew itself. This is not a coincidence. The cosmic test was synchronized with your biological rhythms to ensure that your entire being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, could undergo transformation simultaneously. During these 3 months, you were not being judged. You were being observed at the quantum level of your consciousness. The Pleiadians explain that Source tests through silence because only in silence can the true nature of your consciousness be revealed. When external validation disappears, when spiritual experiences dry up, when meditation feels empty, what remains? That core essence, that unwavering light that continues to shine even when no one is watching, that is what Source is measuring. The test was not about how many hours you meditated or how many positive affirmations you recited. It was about the consistency of your frequency when all external feedback was removed. Many starseeds experience this 3-month cycle multiple times throughout their awakening journey, each time at a higher octave of consciousness. The first silence tests your faith. The second silence tests your sovereignty. The third silence tests your embodiment. You have just completed one of these major cycles, and the Pleiadians are now transmitting the results directly into your heart chakra. The feeling of approval you may be sensing is actually the activation of new light codes that were dormant until you passed this initiation. These codes contain blueprints for your next level of service, relationships that match your upgraded frequency, and creative projects that will manifest with unprecedented ease. The silence was the cosmic womb where your new identity gestated. Now you are being birthed into a new dimensional reality where your thoughts manifest faster, your intuition operates with crystal clarity, and your presence naturally elevates the consciousness of those around you. This is not theoretical spirituality. This is practical cosmic evolution. The Pleiadians are showing me visions of starseeds who endured the silence and then suddenly found doors opening, synchronicities accelerating, and resources appearing as if by magic. This is the law of cosmic compensation. For every moment you held the light in darkness, you now receive amplified light in visibility. Your 3 months of testing have built spiritual muscle memory that cannot be unlearned. You now carry within you the knowing that you can endure anything because you have endured the silence of Source and emerged still loving, still believing, still shining. This is the ultimate certification of a starseed, not what you achieve in the light, but who you become in the darkness. When the Pleiadians speak of approval, they are not referring to human concepts of passing an exam or receiving a grade. In the Pleiadian councils, approval is a vibrational alignment that occurs when a consciousness has successfully integrated specific light codes and demonstrated the capacity to hold higher frequencies without distortion. Your approval means that your energy field has reached a threshold of coherence that allows for direct download of advanced galactic knowledge. The Pleiadians work with a system of vibrational accreditation, where each starseed's aura is scanned for integrity, purity, and resonance with specific cosmic principles. During your 3-month test, your energy field was being monitored for consistency across 7 key dimensions: intention purity, emotional equilibrium, mental clarity, heart coherence, soul alignment, physical vitality, and etheric integrity. Each of these dimensions corresponds to one of the 7 sisters of the Pleiades, and your performance in each area determined which specific Pleiadian frequencies you are now authorized to access. The approval you received is not a blanket endorsement, but a precise calibration. For example, if you demonstrated exceptional heart coherence during the silence, you may now find yourself receiving downloads about healing technologies or heart-based community building. If you showed remarkable mental clarity, you might start receiving blueprints for new scientific understandings or communication systems. The Pleiadians are meticulous in their assessment because they understand that premature access to certain frequencies can cause energetic overload or spiritual bypassing. Your approval is essentially a safety mechanism. It confirms that your vessel is strong enough to contain the light that wants to flow through you. This is why many starseeds experience sudden bursts of creativity, intuitive knowing, or healing abilities after periods of intense challenge. The challenges were not obstacles, they were initiation rituals that strengthened your capacity to hold more light. The Pleiadians are now transmitting what they call the codes of authorized service. These are not written documents, but vibrational patterns that align your DNA with specific galactic missions. Some starseeds will feel called to environmental healing, others to consciousness education, others to artistic expression of cosmic truths. Your particular approval comes with customized access to the Pleiadian libraries of light, vast repositories of knowledge about energy medicine, sacred geometry, star systems, and consciousness evolution. These libraries are not physical places, but frequency bands that your approved consciousness can now tune into. You may start having dreams of ancient temples, receiving sudden insights about healing modalities you've never studied, or feeling drawn to specific crystals, sounds, or places that activate these stored wisdom frequencies. The approval also grants you enhanced protection during your earthly mission. The Pleiadians explain that starseeds who pass the silence test are given an extra layer of etheric shielding that deflects lower vibrational influences and psychic interference. This doesn't mean you become invincible, but it does mean that your energy field develops a kind of spiritual immune system that recognizes and neutralizes discordant frequencies more efficiently. Perhaps most importantly, the Pleiadian approval establishes you as a conscious partner in the Galactic Alliance. You are no longer just a student or a seeker. You are now a colleague in the cosmic work of planetary awakening. The Pleiadians will begin communicating with you in more direct ways, through synchronicities that are too precise to ignore, through animal messengers that carry specific meanings, through numbers that appear repeatedly with clear messages. Your relationship with the galactic family shifts from hierarchical to collaborative. You are being invited to co-create the new Earth, not as a subordinate, but as an equal contributor of unique human galactic consciousness. The e-book, The Pleiadian Map of Personal Transmutation, a profound guide that reveals how to raise your frequency, purify old patterns, and activate your true multidimensional identity. This map teaches you how to move through the 7 Pleiadian phases of energetic transmutation, using practical techniques, realignment exercises, vibrational protocols, and consciousness expansion rituals that accelerate your spiritual evolution. Attention! Limited edition. The link to get yours is in the first pinned comment. Now that the test is complete and the approval has been transmitted, the real work begins. Integration. The Pleiadians emphasize that receiving light codes is only the first step. Embodying them is where transformation occurs. Many starseeds make the mistake of seeking the next high, the next download, the next spiritual experience, without fully integrating what they have already received. This creates what the Pleiadians call frequency congestion, too much light entering a system that hasn't cleared space for it. Your first practical step is what they term energetic decluttering. Just as you would clean your physical home before bringing in new furniture, you must clean your energy field before fully receiving the new frequencies. This doesn't require complex rituals. It begins with conscious breathing. The Pleiadians teach a simple technique. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. This 4-7-8 breathing pattern immediately calms your nervous system and creates space in your energy field. Do this for 5 minutes each morning while setting the intention, I am clearing space for my new light. The second step involves what the Pleiadians call cellular acknowledgement. Your physical body has been through a significant transformation during the 3-month test, and it needs to be recognized and thanked. Place your hands on different parts of your body, heart, solar plexus, forehead, and speak aloud. I acknowledge and thank every cell of my being for holding the light during the silence. I honor your endurance. I celebrate your resilience. This may feel silly at first, but the Pleiadians explain that consciousness exists in every cell, and when you acknowledge this consciousness, you activate deeper levels of integration. The third step is what they term frequency anchoring through daily action. Your new approval comes with specific vibrational qualities that need to be grounded into your daily life. If your approval relates to heart coherence, you might commit to 1 act of unconditional kindness each day. If it relates to mental clarity, you might spend 10 minutes each morning writing down insights or ideas. If it relates to creative expression, you might engage in some form of art, music, or writing daily. The key is consistency, not duration. 5 minutes of conscious action is more powerful than 1 hour of distracted effort. The Pleiadians also emphasize the importance of what they call the bridge of gratitude. Each night before sleep, review your day and identify 3 moments where you felt connected to your new frequency. A moment of peace, a flash of insight, a feeling of love, a sense of purpose. By focusing on these moments, you strengthen the neural pathways that support your upgraded consciousness. This is not positive thinking. This is neuroplasticity training for spiritual evolution. Many starseeds struggle with integration because they expect dramatic, instantaneous changes. The Pleiadians remind us that true embodiment happens gradually, like the sunrise. First a faint glow, then brighter light, then full illumination. Be patient with yourself. Notice the subtle shifts. Perhaps you're less reactive in traffic. Perhaps you're more compassionate with yourself. Perhaps you're dreaming more vividly. These are all signs of successful integration. The Pleiadians also warn against what they call integration by comparison, looking at other starseeds and judging your progress by theirs. Each approval is unique. Each integration timeline is customized. Your journey is yours alone, and comparing it to others only creates frequency interference. Trust the timing of your soul. Trust the wisdom of your body. Trust the guidance of your heart. The Pleiadians are with you in this integration process, not as distant observers, but as hands-on guides. You may feel their presence as a gentle pressure on your forehead, third eye activation, as warmth in your heart chakra expansion, or as tingling in your hands, healing energy activation. These are not imaginary sensations. They are physical manifestations of Pleiadian light working with your human biology to facilitate the embodiment of your new frequency. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button now and tell us in the comments how this echoed in your consciousness. With great light comes great responsibility, and the period following your Pleiadian approval can present unique challenges that many starseeds are unprepared for. The first common challenge is what the Pleiadians term frequency whiplash. After 3 months of silence and introspection, suddenly receiving accelerated downloads, synchronicities, and opportunities can feel overwhelming. Your system, accustomed to the quiet, may interpret the influx of energy as stress rather than blessing. The solution is gradual acclimation. The Pleiadians recommend creating what they call energy buffers, periods of intentional quiet throughout your day where you disconnect from stimulation and simply breathe. This could be 5 minutes every 2 hours where you step away from screens, close your eyes, and focus on your heartbeat. These buffers allow your nervous system to process the new frequencies without going into overload. The second challenge is relational recalibration. As your frequency upgrades, your relationships will naturally shift. Some connections that felt comfortable during your testing phase may now feel draining or misaligned. This is not a sign that those people are bad or that you are judgmental. It is simply physics. Different frequencies resonate at different levels. The Pleiadians advise approaching these shifts with compassion rather than judgment. Instead of abruptly cutting people off, you might gradually create healthier boundaries while sending them love from a distance. You may also attract new relationships that match your upgraded frequency, people who understand your journey, support your growth, and reflect your light. The third challenge is purpose confusion. After being approved, many starseeds feel tremendous pressure to immediately figure out their big mission and change the world overnight. The Pleiadians laugh gently at this human tendency and remind us that the most powerful missions often begin as small, consistent actions. Your purpose in this new phase may not be a dramatic career change, but a subtle shift in how you show up in your existing life, bringing more presence to your work, more love to your family, more creativity to your hobbies. The Pleiadians teach that purpose is not a destination, but a quality of being. You fulfill your purpose not by achieving grand things, but by infusing everything you do with conscious love. The fourth challenge is energetic sensitivity overload. With your approval comes heightened perception of energies. You may become more aware of environmental vibrations, emotional atmospheres, and subtle psychic impressions. While this is a gift, it can also be exhausting if not managed properly. The Pleiadians recommend practical shielding techniques, visualizing yourself surrounded by a bubble of golden or violet light each morning, wearing protective crystals like black tourmaline or shungite, and regularly cleansing your energy field with salt baths, sage smoke, or sound vibrations. They also emphasize the importance of grounding through the earth, walking barefoot on grass, hugging trees, gardening, or simply sitting with your back against a tree. Earth energy provides a stabilizing counterbalance to the high-frequency Pleiadian light. The fifth challenge is what the Pleiadians call the temptation of spiritual materialism, becoming attached to the experience of being approved and using it as a badge of superiority. This is a subtle trap that can actually lower your frequency by introducing ego into your spiritual journey. The solution is humility and service. The Pleiadians remind us that true spiritual advancement is measured not by how special we feel, but by how selflessly we serve. Look for opportunities to help others without seeking recognition. Share your light without announcing your credentials. Serve from the heart without keeping score. This keeps your frequency pure and your connection to Source clear. Finally, many starseeds experience what the Pleiadians term cosmic loneliness, feeling disconnected from mainstream society while not yet fully integrated into the galactic community. This in-between space can be profoundly isolating. The solution is finding your soul family, other starseeds who understand your experience. This doesn't necessarily mean physical proximity. It could mean online communities, spiritual groups, or even telepathic connections with like-minded souls across the planet. The Pleiadians assure us that no starseed is truly alone. The galactic network is always active, and when you send out a signal of loneliness, help always arrives, sometimes in unexpected forms. Are these truths expanding your perspective? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Your approval has granted you access to what the Pleiadians call the co-creation protocols, specific methods for collaborating with galactic consciousness to manifest positive change on Earth. This is not about channeling alien messages or waiting for spaceships to arrive. It's about practical partnership at the consciousness level. The first protocol is intention broadcasting with crystalline clarity. The Pleiadians explain that human thoughts are much more powerful than most people realize, but they often lack focus and consistency. When you partner with Pleiadian consciousness, your thoughts gain amplification and precision. The practice is simple. Each morning, sit in quiet meditation and clearly state your intentions for the day, not as wishes, but as declarations of what already exists in the quantum field. For example, instead of, "I hope to have a peaceful day," say, "I am experiencing peace in all my interactions today." The Pleiadians then work with the energy of your declaration to align circumstances that match your stated reality. The second protocol is synchronicity amplification. Synchronicities are not random coincidences. They are the language of the universe. With your Pleiadian partnership activated, you can consciously increase meaningful coincidences by paying attention to patterns. The Pleiadians recommend keeping a synchronicity journal where you record repeating numbers, unexpected meetings, timely messages, and other. The second protocol is synchronicity amplification. Synchronicities are not random coincidences. They are the language of the universe. With your Pleiadian partnership activated, you can consciously increase meaningful coincidences by paying attention to patterns. The Pleiadians recommend keeping a synchronicity journal where you record repeating numbers, unexpected meetings, timely messages, and other coincidences that feel significant. When you acknowledge these synchronicities, you send a signal to the Pleiadian network that you are paying attention, which in turn increases the frequency and clarity of these cosmic communications. The third protocol involves dream collaboration. During sleep, your consciousness travels to what the Pleiadians call the interdimensional training grounds, spaces where starseeds receive instruction, healing, and guidance. With your approval status, you can now consciously participate in these dream experiences. Before sleep, set the intention. I am open to receiving Pleiadian guidance and training in my dreams. Keep a dream journal by your bed and write down any fragments you remember upon waking. Over time, you will develop greater recall and may receive specific information about healing techniques, future events, or personal growth opportunities. The fourth protocol is Energy grid work. The Earth is surrounded by crystalline energy grids that act as consciousness highways. The Pleiadians work extensively with these grids to stabilize planetary frequencies. As an approved starseed, you can contribute to this work through simple practices. Visualizing light flowing from your heart into the Earth's grid during meditation. Placing crystals in specific patterns in your home or garden to amplify grid connections, or participating in global meditation events that focus on grid healing. The Pleiadians emphasize that you don't need to understand the technical aspects of grid work. Your conscious intention is enough to create positive impact. The fifth protocol involves conscious creativity. The Pleiadians are master creators who understand that everything in the universe begins as a thought form before manifesting in physical reality. Your approval gives you enhanced creative power. This doesn't necessarily mean becoming an artist, though it could. It means approaching everything you do with creative consciousness. Whether you're cooking a meal, solving a work problem, or planning your day, do it with the awareness that you are co-creating reality with galactic intelligence. Ask for Pleiadian inspiration, then pay attention to the ideas that flow in. The sixth protocol is heart-based communication. The Pleiadians communicate primarily through heart resonance rather than verbal language. To strengthen this connection, practice sending and receiving heart energy. Sit quietly, place your hand on your heart, and imagine sending beams of pink or emerald green light to the Pleiadian star system. Then imagine receiving similar beams back. You may not hear words, but you might feel emotions, see images, or receive intuitive knowings. This heart link establishes a direct line of communication that bypasses the limitations of human language. The seventh and most important protocol is service without attachment. The Pleiadians work from a place of pure service consciousness. They assist because it is their nature, not because they expect anything in return. As you partner with them, cultivate this same attitude. Serve your community, help strangers, contribute to causes, but do it because your heart calls you to, not because you want recognition or spiritual brownie points. This unattached service creates a vacuum in your energy field that the Pleiadians can fill with even greater light and guidance. Remember, this partnership is not about you becoming a passive receiver of galactic wisdom. It's about you becoming an active participant in cosmic evolution. The Pleiadians see you as an equal collaborator who brings the unique perspective of human experience to the Galactic Council. Your emotions, your creativity, your capacity for love, these are gifts you offer to the partnership. The Pleiadians offer their advanced understanding of energy, consciousness, and multidimensional reality. Together, you create something neither could create alone, the integration of galactic wisdom with human heart. This is the true meaning of your approval. You have been deemed ready for this sacred collaboration. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be part of this transformational cosmic journey. The 3-month period you just experienced is not a one-time event, but part of a larger cosmic rhythm that governs spiritual evolution. The Pleiadians explain that consciousness expands in cyclical waves, with each wave consisting of 3 phases: dissolution, 1 month, incubation, 1 month, and crystallization, 1 month. You have just completed 1 full wave cycle. Understanding this pattern helps you navigate future initiations with greater grace and awareness. The dissolution phase is often the most challenging. This is when old structures, beliefs, and identities begin to break down. You might experience sudden changes in relationships, career, health, or living situations. Emotions can feel turbulent, and you may question everything you thought you knew. The Pleiadians advise, don't resist this phase. The dissolution is not destruction, but deconstruction, making space for something new. The key is to surrender rather than struggle. Practice saying, I trust this process even when I don't understand it. The incubation phase follows dissolution. This is the silent period where nothing seems to be happening externally. but tremendous activity is occurring internally at the quantum level. This is when new light codes are being woven into your DNA, new neural pathways are forming in your brain, and new energetic blueprints are being established in your aura. The temptation during incubation is to force action, to make something happen. The Pleiadians counsel patience. This is the cosmic gestation period. You wouldn't dig up a seed to check if it's growing, so don't dig up your spiritual process with constant analysis. Trust that invisible work is happening. The crystallization phase is when the new frequency solidifies into your conscious experience. This is when you start noticing tangible changes, increased intuition, unexpected opportunities, healing of old wounds, or clarity about your path. This phase requires active participation. The new frequency is like a newborn. It needs nurturing, attention, and practice to strengthen. Engage in activities that support your upgraded consciousness. Meditation, creative expression, nature connection, conscious community. The Pleiadians emphasize that each 3-month cycle operates at a higher octave than the previous one. Your first cycle might have focused on personal healing. Your next cycle might focus on relational harmony. The following cycle might focus on creative manifestation. Each builds upon the last, creating a spiral of ascending consciousness. You can expect to go through approximately 7 of these major cycles over the next few years, each corresponding to one of the 7 Pleiadian sisters and one of the 7 main chakras. The current cycle you just completed likely relates to your root chakra, establishing safety, security, and foundation in the physical realm. Your next cycle may relate to your sacral chakra, creativity, sexuality, and emotional flow. The cycle after that to your solar plexus, personal power and will. And so on up the chakra column until you reach full, multidimensional activation. The Pleiadians also reveal that these cycles are synchronized with specific astrological alignments and Earth's seasonal shifts. Your 3-month test likely began around a solstice or equinox and concluded around the next seasonal marker. This is not accidental. Earth's energy supports your transformation. As you move forward, pay attention to these natural rhythms. Initiate new practices at the new moon. Release old patterns at the full moon. Integrate during the waning moon. Your personal evolution is part of planetary evolution. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. The most important insight the Pleiadians offer about future cycles is this: each completion makes the next cycle easier to navigate. You have developed spiritual muscles during this first major test. You have learned to trust the silence. You have discovered inner resources you didn't know you had. These capacities don't disappear. They become part of your permanent spiritual toolkit. Future challenges will still be challenging, but you will face them with greater confidence, knowing that you have already survived the cosmic silence and emerged approved. The Pleiadians assure you that you are never given more than you can handle, and each cycle is perfectly calibrated to your current capacity and next level of growth. Your job is not to control the process, but to cooperate with it, to say yes to whatever each phase brings, knowing that it is all part of your magnificent becoming. Your approval is not just a personal achievement, it is a planetary assignment. The Pleiadians have been preparing starseeds like you for this exact moment in Earth's history, the tipping point where enough awakened consciousness exists to create a quantum leap in planetary evolution. Your role is what they term lighthouse consciousness. A lighthouse doesn't go searching for ships in trouble. It simply stands firm in its location and shines its light consistently. Ships that are lost see the light and navigate towards safety. In the same way, you don't need to convince anyone of spiritual truths or save anyone from their choices. You simply need to embody your approved frequency with consistency and authenticity. Your very presence becomes a beacon that others can orient toward when they are ready. The Pleiadians outline 3 primary functions of lighthouse consciousness. First, frequency anchoring. As you integrate your upgrade, you naturally emit a stable, high-vibration energy field that subtly influences the collective consciousness around you. This is not something you do, but something you are. Your calm presence in a stressful situation, your compassionate response to conflict, your joyful engagement with life, these are not personal virtues, but planetary services. You are literally anchoring a new frequency template into the Earth's energy grid. Second, pattern interruption. The old world operates on certain low-frequency patterns: fear, separation, competition, scarcity. As a lighthouse, your different way of being interrupts these patterns. When you choose cooperation over competition, abundance over scarcity, unity over separation, you create a crack in the collective trance. Others may not consciously notice, but at a subconscious level, they register that another way is possible. This creates what the Pleiadians call the permission field. You give others unconscious permission to explore higher frequencies themselves. Third, dimensional bridging. Your approved consciousness now operates in multiple dimensions simultaneously. While your physical body is here on Earth, aspects of your awareness are connected to the Pleiadian realms, the angelic realms, and other dimensions of light. This multidimensional awareness allows you to receive guidance and inspiration that can be translated into practical Earth solutions. You might receive insights about sustainable technologies, harmonious social structures, or healing modalities that benefit humanity. Your role is to ground these inspirations into tangible form through your unique gifts and talents. The Pleiadians emphasize that lighthouse work is often invisible and uncelebrated. You may not receive public recognition for the energy you anchor or the patterns you interrupt. This is why your 3-month test was so important. It weeded out any need for external validation. True lighthouse keepers shine because it is their nature, not because anyone is watching. The work happens in ordinary moments: smiling at a stranger, listening deeply to a friend, creating beauty in your home, tending a garden, speaking truth with kindness. These seemingly small acts are actually profound contributions to the planetary shift. The Pleiadians also address a common concern among lightworkers. Am I doing enough? They respond with a question. Is the sun doing enough by shining? The sun doesn't measure its radiation output or calculate its contribution to photosynthesis. It simply shines because that is its nature. In the same way, your lighthouse work is not about quantity of action, but quality of being. 5 minutes of truly present, heart-centered consciousness does more for planetary awakening than 5 hours of stressed, distracted activism. Finally, the Pleiadians offer this crucial insight. You are not alone in this work. You are part of a global network of lighthouses, millions of starseeds, lightworkers, and awakened beings who are all anchoring light in their unique locations and ways. Together, you create what the Pleiadians call the crystalline net of light, an interconnected web of consciousness that covers the planet and supports its ascension. You may never meet most of your fellow lighthouse keepers in person, but you are connected through the heart grid. When you feel discouraged, remember that somewhere on the planet, another starseed is holding the light. When you feel weak, remember that the entire network strengthens you. When you feel isolated, remember that you are part of the most beautiful collaboration in cosmic history. Human and galactic consciousness joining forces to midwife a new Earth. Your approval was the official invitation to this sacred work. Your 3-month test was the training. Now the real mission begins. Shine, beloved starseed. Shine not because you must, but because you can. Shine not for recognition, but for love. Shine because your light is needed. Shine because the world is waiting for what you carry. Shine because you are, at last, approved. If this message impacted your life, leave your like, comment your reflection, and share with others. Each of you is part of this chain of light.